shodo-x!
Hey guys, welcome to another fun-sized episode of the Soda Pop Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Toy Fair, so cool!
Malunis! My friend, you're here. So I know that we're toy collectors. We love Soto, but we collect many other toys, and Toy Fair is only the biggest toy anything that happens throughout the year. And there's some reveals we wanted to talk about in sort of a fun-sized episode. But there is some pressing actual Toku news-ish that we wanted to discuss, and then we'll sort of dive into just some highlights of toys that we really liked and pick apart what we think is going to be happening with those lines. So, Malunis, what happened today?
Oh, so many things, but the most important one for this podcast, I guess, is we now know that the next Power Ranger series is Ryu Soldier.
That's right. And
Boo!
But I mean, honestly, part of me, you know, obviously, I'm not quite a fan of doing another everyone's gonna be saying this. Not a fan of blah blah blah.
I'll also say I just did that as a joke because people have been poo-pooing this decision for various reasons.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, for me, the draw of just Power Rangers toys in general is having so many multicolored suits that all sort of look like they belong together. Mm-hmm. And Q Ranger, to me, would have been a nice way to get just 12 figures that all sort of looked like each other. And I would have been a bit more excited for that. But honestly, it's all 6-inch, and I'm not 100% interested anyway.
Yeah.
But that being said, considering Dino Charge happened in another universe, like a separate universe, maybe in parallel, this show, whatever Ryu Soldier does, is kind of like, oh, this is this is the main Power Rangers universe's version of Dino Charge. You know what I mean? Like, an equivalent has to have happened.
Is that actually a plot point for Dino Charge?
It is canon. It was canonized, like, after the fact, during Ninja Steel.
To justify crossovers or something.
Yeah, in Dimensions in Danger. Like, they fully canonized that it is separate. And that RPM is separate. There are 3 universes now.
Just the 3.
Just the 3. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts going into this? Like, are you excited? Are you sad?
Well, I do like the designs of Dino Charge, and, someone on Twitter made the good point of there's a lot of stuff here for kids to enjoy as far as the play pattern goes. It's like, it's basically...
Oh, you mean Ryu Soldier? You said Dino Charge. I thought you meant...
Well,
yeah.
Anyway, what I think about Ryu Soldier being adapted is that there's, like I said, someone brought up the point, there's a lot of stuff here for kids to enjoy. Like the Lego sort of play pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And
like, honestly... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, for me, it's like, okay, that makes sense. Some people could interpret it as, much like with Transformers always going to G1, maybe Hasbro's Power Rangers always goes back to Mighty Morphin. So, but there's also, like, the theory that maybe this is, like, their version of The Force Awakens, where they're like, don't worry, guys, we know how to do Power Rangers. Let's assure you.
That's fair. But yeah, I don't know. I agree with going back to something sort of tried and true, and just doing something base level. But on the other hand, there are a lot of other things that, like, grabbed my interest aesthetically, that happened over the course of these last few, that it's kind of like, well, we just did this. I'm a little tired out of these guys, especially since the last time I invested myself into a bunch of these figures did not go well. It went south.
To be fair, you know what you were getting into with Yudo.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah,
know.
that was also
But
that was
I
also going to
mean,
be my point of, even though like I'm fine with it, I can see how someone would kind of,
yeah.
we've just had we're just wrapping up a year's worth of the Ryu Soldier designs, and
Yeah.
who knows how long it's going to be until it debuts, but it's still going to be
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, we're going to be seeing these again for another at least year.
Yeah. But I mean that is also another thing. It's not for us.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. The only thing, like, what got me about them doing Beast Morphers is that, like, oh hey, I could get some Go Busters figures out of this. And while I did, it's like, I guess it's really just not clicking with me as much, and this is just another one. And you know what? I'm happy that I don't need to spend more money.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're also more of a fan of the
because I don't
4-inch.
need any of them. Absolutely, yeah.
Because that was going to be my thing.
So.
Is with Go Busters, they had figure arts behind them. They didn't have every possible design that Power Rangers is touching upon. Like, I don't think Beat J Stag ever got a figure.
He did.
Oh, did he?
I think he did. It was like it was attached with like some strange, like, battle armor weapons.
Well, I mean,
weapons.
Go Busters.
Oh! I thought you meant for.
Because I was gonna say, someone recently said to me, "Yeah, he never got a figure arts release." I thought, "What? Really?"
Oh yeah, no figure arts. I don't even think they even made the figures for Gold and Silver. It was just red, blue, and yellow.
Oh yeah, so I guess there was more benefit for Beast Morphers than I thought. What I was gonna say is that I think that they made adaptations for shows after Go Busters, but Rio Soldier, it's new. It doesn't have figure arts to go with it, so it's like, okay, Power Rangers can actually fill in a niche.
Yeah.
That's the.
I mean, there's that, but like the whole thing of Ryu Soldier is right now within the fandom. It is still so polarizing. That's why I'm saying, like, it's fine that it's not for us.
Yeah, I can see that being
because...
I can see that being the case from a design standpoint, only because, oh yeah, if you don't like these designs, you might not like seeing them for another year plus. But I saw some people saying that, oh, it's a shame they didn't pick something with a better story. And I'm like, I don't know if that necessarily is relevant.
Yeah, that really doesn't matter. I don't know if they knew this, but they can make a new story out of this stuff.
Ninja Steel decided to add an intergalactic game show.
Yeah. While that did not do so well, it still was different.
Yeah, I was talking to someone earlier about Ninja Steel, and I just kind of realized as I was talking to him, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say something positive about this show.
I don't think I've heard anyone say anything positive about either Ninja or Ninja Steel other than the suits. And the fact that the suits have been done dirty twice, and it really sucks.
Wait, what was the first one you said, Samurai?
Oh, no. Ninja and Ninja Steel.
Oh, see, I enjoyed Ninja, but it's not for the main character. I will say that much.
Oh, that's fair. I don't know. I haven't seen nor heard a lot of love for it.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So, yeah. I mean, either the best I've seen is Indifference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think one of my favorite things to say now, because the reaction is, I will say, I enjoyed Ninja, Tokyuger, and Zyuohger, because sometimes the reaction is, okay, wow.
I mean, out of those, I think my favorite is Zyuohger, and that's one of the other suits that I was, like, teams that I was really wanting representation of.
Yeah.
Just me, selfishly, as a collector, just wants, figures of the Zyuohger team.
Oh, 100%. There's someone on Twitter, I think it was someone from RRR, said, like, what are your top 4 that you would like to see in Lightning Collection? And I just gave a jokey one of just Geoshark.
Yeah.
Just that 4 times. But then when I thought about it, I thought, there are a few other characters I would probably want, but they're, again, all because of Sentai.
Yeah. And that's not to say that at a time, Power Rangers was really good. It's just, and even now I've heard good things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I'm feeling like it's not for me, so I'm more fine not having to buy from it this year. And you know what? It is a gimmick season, so like if people bought into the gimmick this year, they're not going to want to do it again. You know what I mean?
Wait, what do you mean?
So the Rusouls, if they bought into it this year already, they already have them, and they don't want to like recollect tons and tons of gimmicks.
I didn't think about that
they
part.
Pretty much already have. Yeah. But I don't know. It's I look forward to seeing what they do with it. I'll keep tabs on it, but it's not my favorite decision.
I just realized now you brought up the Rusouls. I just realized. I wonder if those are going to be, because I think someone brought up how they just kind of hope that the Morpher will be like the original DX toy. I just realized, I wonder if they just use the original molds, if they have the ability to, would that mean that people could kind of collect the ones that they missed before? And also, would that mean Legend Ranger? Would that mean that we'd have more of those?
I feel like Power Rangers and what was it, Hasbro don't really, I don't know that they're in the market of buying other people's molds, or at least like commissioning other companies for their stuff.
Because like I remember when Go Busters was first announced, one of the things speculated is that they might just make their own, because Yokai Watch was something where they basically just made their own toy from scratch, and it ended up being a little bit better than the original, apparently.
Oh wow, okay. I mean, I own it. I just don't own the Japanese one, so I can't really compare. Dude, I got it at a dying Toys R Us for, I think, maybe $3.
Perfect for a ghost item.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Power Rangers isn't all that happened. I mean, unless you wanted to talk about the Lightning Collection stuff. But there are a slew of other toy things that happened that we're totally interested in.
Yes.
So, I mean,
tell me, what the hell is Spin Master?
Spin Master! Oh my god! So, if you listened to the end of the last Soda Pop podcast episode, Josh and I definitely chose the Spin Master Batman and Heroes United lines as our topic, because we just really love them, and to me they feel like the Soto of the US in that they are basically the same price point, same scale, just no candy, like, because each box you get for Soto, that's $4 each, that's $8 per figure, and with Spin Master, $8 a pop, like, and it has such a unique opening experience. You get a tiny little card, you get accessories, and then you open up the action figure. It's a good time. But if you already know a lot about it, then you'll know that we've been front loaded with a lot of Batman, like actual Batman, and not just people from his sort of collection. But we got shown off tons of Batman stuff. We got shown off a play set, which is something I've been wanting, and from the looks of it, it looks very modular. There are some like cardboard background inserts of the huge T-Rex to fill it out. There's like a huge bat cave. I mean, the whole thing is the bat cave, but there is this sort of tunnel for you to drive your Batmobile through. Like, it looks like it has a ton of play features. I'm so excited for it. Got a brand new Batmobile as well. And then in our first series, we got tons of Batman: Nightwing, Joker, Robin, Man-Bat, I'm sure there are others that I'm missing, but and we also had, I want to say, leaks of Batwoman earlier, and now on display here we didn't see Batwoman. Actually, we also didn't see Killer Moth, who was also like leaked. We didn't see that here, but like we got obviously tons of Batman variants with different armors, but we also got another Damian Wayne Robin who has a hood now. We have Red Nightwing. We have the Court of Owls guys. We got Firefly, Catwoman, and what looks to be like a Flashpoint Batman. We have New 52, Joker, the second one, Bronze Tiger, Copperhead, like just diving so deep into tons of Batman characters.
That's respectable.
It is. And I don't know, I can barely contain myself. This stuff looks so cool, and I'm so happy for it.
I can
and
see,
the accessories.
I can see why you're hyped for it now that I hear about how many various variations they've got going on.
Heck yeah, dude. And like they have a Batman and a just general DC superhero line going on concurrently. So that was all the Batman stuff, and for the just regular DC line, we had leaks of Lex Luthor and regular Wonder Woman, but we didn't actually get to see them here, strangely. But what we did get to see was a gold Wonder Woman, a metallic Shazam, gunmetal Cyborg with a more I want to say accurate hand cannon than he has in the release that we got so far, Brainiac single carded, Aquaman single carded, which is something we sort of got leaked on, Black Manta single carded, Reverse Flash single carded, an armored Superman single carded, a single carded Grodd. Oh wait, I do see the regular Wonder Woman here. Either way, tons of new DC stuff, and DC is one of those brands that is like really near and dear to my heart. Like some of my favorite superheroes are in there, and the fact that they're like, I mean, they are a little shorter than Soto, but like in my scale, my favorite scale, and just have, honestly, I think the perfect amount of articulation for a toy in terms of playability and mobility, and durability. Like, I'm blown away by the selection and tons of stuff that I didn't see coming. Like everything I was looking at today, be it Transformers, Power Rangers, all that stuff leaked, and I already knew about a lot of it. But this, no one knew about it, and I'm very happy. I love being surprised.
Yeah.
So yeah, Toy Fair's been a pretty good day for me. The only sad part is that there's no place consistently to find this information, so I had to scour. Yeah. Yeah. So that was that.
So I guess bringing it over to Transformers for a bit.
Absolutely. Let's take off a piece of that car and stand on it.
Oh yes. Plenty of cool Earthrise things going on. I think with a lot of these kind of G1 centric kind of general Transformers lines, a lot of them for me tends to be, oh, that's cool for the person who's into that. But there are some things here that I do enjoy. Like I like the RC well enough. It's a shame that it continues the unfortunate design problem with the G1 RC, which is that she was designed by Floro Derry.
So what's up with him? What's wrong? What?
He has this tendency to just draw a robot and add a couple vehicle parts to them, and that's it.
I can see how that would be an issue here.
Yes, especially because RC is very much the only vehicle parts on her are really just on the backpack. So a lot of people, especially in the like third party community, have made their own kind of unofficial RC. And the fun thing to watch every time is, okay, how do they deal with this? Mm-hmm. And Hasbro took the approach of just take off 1/3 of the vehicle and just have her stand on it as a quote-unquote hoverboard. It's like,
yeah, I mean,
it's like
part of me wonders.
I saw that and I was just
ahead.
like, I get it. I understand. I understand the struggle.
I mean, part of me wonders if there is just a hinge to clip it back onto. I know it still wouldn't look pretty, but at least it would still be a part of it. I wonder that because, like, you know, obviously you need those sort of segments because that's like the new play pattern going on right now. So I do wonder, and I do hope that it is able to still attach on.
Yeah, what I'm interested to see is, like, what's the underside going to look like? Because, you know, there's two things they could do. One is there might be like a 3mm peg, and hey, that means you can put it on a display stand. Hasbro has been kind of sneaking that into a lot of Transformers for a while. And the other thing is, if there's, well, I guess also in the case if there's a 3mm peg, but if there's something bigger, then that's even more reason for someone on Shapeways to just kind of make something that can actually give that more of a purpose. Just to attach to it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, the argument could also be said for, like, we shouldn't have to do extra modifications to our toys. It should be like good out of the package, blah blah blah. But, like, also, you know, I understand that mentality, but this is really all we're gonna be getting, you know, in terms. Well, it's not like we are able to make a better version, and, like, even if upgrades are available, I would want to go that route. Like, I just want to upgrade my current experience, you know. So I personally don't mind that mentality.
I just realized I'm looking at the close-up of her right here. They've got some of those numbers printed on them, the kind of things that they would do for, like, these samples.
Yeah.
And they just have, like, a kind of like a set of numbers just printed on the helmet. That's actually kind of looks good.
It does look pretty dope. I saw that and I was like, oh wow, this is a test sample, but I do kind of want to see what would go on if they just put that there.
It's better than
that looks really nice.
It's better than some of the test samples from ages ago. Like, I remember with one of the movie toys, I think it was the first movie toy, Starscream, there was just like an X just kind of burned into the face. Just like ruining the toy. Wow. But, you know, on the subject of RC, that one looks good. If you want a G1 RC that looks just like the cartoon model, they are doing their best. But the one that I kind of want to get is the Cyberverse one, because that looks even better to me.
It does. Oh man, that's just another one of those lines where I'm like, I know that if I buy one, I'm done. It's got a Build-A-Figure McAdams. My wallet's gone.
The good news is that the deluxes are probably the best thing.
What do you mean?
Because a lot of the Cyberverse line up to this point has just been kind of like, oh, this doesn't have all the important points of articulation. This one doesn't even have knees.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then again, Bumblebee and Optimus are the same size in this scale. But if you buy the armored ones, the one with the Bumblebee with the battleship armor to make him look like Snipe, that might be more in scale with that Optimus. Like, you could potentially build a better, like, scale experience. I don't know. I'm a stickler for scale.
Yeah. The one thing with me is that honestly, a lot of the Cyberverse designs, I don't really have enough interest in them to collect it. But the thing that's kind of intimidating about Cyberverse is just that this is a line that just kind of makes its own rules and has a bunch of different random names for different scales. And it's like, I need someone to just kind of collect one of each and just make a chart.
Same. No, yeah, I definitely agree with that.
It's like, you need a spreadsheet for this.
Absolutely.
Which is why I'm only sticking to deluxes.
That's fair. I do remember, like, years ago, Pia made this video about, like, I think an animated Activators figure. I think it was for Optimus, and he said, yeah, if you pair it with Deluxe Bulkhead, Activators Optimus, and I think, like, one other Activators figure, and Legends Bumblebee and Prowl. Oh, yeah, Activators Ratchet? Then you could have, like, a sort of mini-scale team, and I was like, oh, wow, that's perfect. I love that. So I do kind of want to create like a tiny system of a little ecosystem of scale, but also I would still need that Bumblebee because Mac Adams. I'm not getting that if I buy them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, and one line that really tries its best to do scale right is Studio Series, the movie line.
Yeah.
Which is still going, and they are nearly done making their Devastator, which looks pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know if you if you were watching the stream, but I think one of the brand reps, or like the lady that talked about marketing, she said one of our, or like the Evergreen line Studio Series, and I do wonder if that is like a very bankable product. Because like I didn't realize how much of like a big draw that would be. But if she's calling it an evergreen series, like they must be able to be profitable, whether or not it's a movie or whatever, you know.
Well, hopefully, if they keep making things on the same level as Bumblebee, then it would be profitable to keep it going.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just I wonder if, the well of characters that they could draw from, if those are still going to be interesting to people.
Yeah, it is cool to see one of the car guys from the third movie, even though that was where things started to really fall apart for those movies. Because this is one of those ones that was kind of unfortunate. Talking about scale, back in that third movie line, you couldn't really get this whole trio of car guys in the same sort of style because some of them had a bunch of guns on them, some of them didn't.
Yeah, I remember that. Even the Legends was playing that game too. 2 of them were armored, 1 of them was regular. I think it was Topspin, the one that's actually getting released.
So they're finally getting a place that they can all be consistent.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is...
and obviously...
Yep.
That one is going to have to be Target exclusive, right?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, he has the Target logo. It has to happen. There's no other way.
But I was going to say, that's good for the people who are interested in it. The one that I'm kind of interested in, kind of seeing more of, is Revenge of the Fallen Soundwave, the legend himself.
Yeah. I heard people chatting about this, and they were saying like, where did they get this model from? He never transformed, and he doesn't look like any of his comic counterparts from the tie-in comic.
Well,
it looks good, don't get me wrong, but like, where did this come from?
I don't have an answer for where they got this specific one, but there was concept art. That's where all the Constructicons robot mods come from.
That's fair.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is I don't immediately recognize this as the concept art, but I also have not looked at the concept art since the second movie.
That's fair, yeah.
It looks good, though, and I am interested to see if it is as malleable as the original toy, because that's why I call it the Legend, because that was sure one heck of a time back when that came out.
Oh, yeah, I never got my hands on it.
Oh, yeah, this was... cool. Back in 2009, or that was when the movie came out. Before the movie actually came out, there were a lot of toys that got leaked well before they were supposed to be released.
Oh, wow.
And this was one of them, and I don't even think people knew it was Soundwave at first. They just kind of assumed it did.
Oh!
And they didn't know what the alt mode was supposed to be, so they just... there were just a lot of people who were just like... coming up with their own based on what they think these panels, these ball jointed panels.
Oh, right, because they were getting them from like Chinese sellers who.
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember that whole thing.
I don't know if this was.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know if this was just assumed or if this was a joke or if this was actually reality, but it was assumed that it was just like people working in the toy factory literally stealing these and selling them.
I'm sure. I'm absolutely 100% certain.
Absolutely.
But hey, sadly, that is where we need to cap it off. I would have loved to talk a little bit more about Transformers and some other of the toy releases. Say the Star Wars mission figures, the 2.5. But we're running out of time, and I actually have to get ready to do the Soto news.
Yes.
So this is recorded before we actually record our episode proper. So guys, I hope you liked our discussion, and you guys can talk more in the comments down below. Tell us what you're most excited for this year when it comes to toys, when it comes to Power Rangers, anything, any brand. Oh man, even the Reaction line and the Mezco 3 3/4 inch line, there's tons of 4-inch stuff that I was itching to talk about, but we don't have time.
Studio Series Cliff Jumper looks good. It gives me promise for a...
he does!
Gives me promise for a Bumblebee era Soundwave. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching. Keep it juicy. Bye-bye.